Namaste, students, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a topic that's, well, it's absolutely essential, not just for your exams, but for everyday life. We're talking about profit and loss. Anytime you buy or sell something, these ideas are at play. So let's jump in and make it super simple.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down the basics. What are cost price and selling price? Then we'll figure out how to tell if you've made a profit or a loss. After that, we'll get into the math, calculating the exact amounts, and then the really important part, the percentages. And we'll wrap it all up with a quick recap and a super helpful exam tip. Let's get started. All right, before we can even talk about making a profit or having a loss, we need to get two key ideas down first. These are the building blocks for everything else. I'm talking about cost price and selling price. First up, we have the cost price, which we often just call CP. Think of it this way. It's simply the money you pay to get something. If a shopkeeper buys a chocolate bar for 10 rupees to put in his shop, then that 10 rupees is the cost price. Pretty simple, right? Now here's a little catch you've got to watch out for. Sometimes the cost isn't just the price tag. Let's say you buy a used bicycle for 1,500 rupees. But oops, the tire is flat and you spend another 150 rupees on repairs. Your total cost price isn't just 1,500 anymore, it's actually 1,660 rupees. You always have to add in those extra costs like transport or repairs. And the other side of the coin is the selling price, or SP. This one's easy. It's the price you sell that item for, it's the money you get back in your hand. So to put it all together, you buy at the cost price and you sell at the selling price.
Okay, so you have your cost price and your selling price. You've bought something and you've sold it. Now what? Well, one of two things happened. You either made a profit, which is a good thing, or you had a loss. Let's see how to tell which is which. You know, the rule here is actually super simple. If you sell something for more than you bought it for, meaning the selling price is greater than the cost price, you've made a profit. But if you sell it for less than you paid, meaning the cost price was more than your selling price, that's a loss. All you have to do is compare those two numbers. Knowing if you made a profit or loss is step one, but we're in math class, right? We need the exact numbers. So how do we calculate precisely how many rupees you gained or lost? Time to look at the formulas. Now listen up, because this is where a lot of students get tripped up. The formulas are just simple subtraction, but the order is everything. For profit, you take the bigger number, the selling price, and subtract the cost price. But for loss, you flip it. You take the cost price and subtract the selling price. So always ask yourself first, is it a profit or a loss? That'll tell you which number to put first. Okay, let's move on to a concept that is a huge deal for your exams. I'm talking about percentages. Calculating the profit or loss percentage gives us a much better picture of what's really going on. So you might be asking, why do we even need percentages? Well, think about it. A 50 rupee loss is not that big a deal if you bought something for 5,000 rupees. But a 50 rupee loss on something that only cost you 100 rupees, that's a huge loss. Percentages help us compare things fairly by telling us the gain or loss for every 100 rupees spent.
All right, this is a write it down and memorize it moment for sure. Look at these formulas. They're almost identical. For profit percentage, you take the profit amount, divide it by the cost price, and multiply by 100. And for loss percentage, you do the exact same thing, just with the loss amount. It's always loss divided by cost price times 100.
Let's solve this together, okay? Imagine Rohan's bicycle cost him 500 rupees. That's our CP. Now, in the first scenario, he sells it for 450. So first, we find the loss. 500 minus 450 is a 50 rupee loss. Simple. Now for the percentage, we put that loss of 50 over the cost price of 500 and multiply by 100. That gives us a 10% loss. Now, what if he sold it for 550 instead? Well, this time it's a profit. 550 minus 500 is a 50 rupee profit. And for the percentage, look, it's the same calculation. 50 over the CP of 500 times 100. That's a 10% profit. See how the method is exactly the same? Wow, fantastic work, everyone. We've gone through all the main ideas, so let's do a super quick summary to lock it all in, and then I'm going to share a little secret tip that will help you avoid a very, very common mistake on your exams. So let's recap. It's a profit if you sell for more than you buy. It's a loss if you buy for more than you sell. Remember those subtraction formulas. The order matters. And for percentages, the magic rule is that you always divide by the cost price, the CP, before multiplying by 100. And that brings me to my final, most important tip. This is my exam's secret for you. So many students accidentally divide by the selling price when they're finding the percentage. Please, please remember, the profit or loss is always compared to what you originally paid. So you must always, always, always use the cost price as your base for the calculation. That's it for today. Keep practicing these problems and you'll be a pro in no time. You've totally got this.